Bad kid stories. That is the most real thing I have ever experienced in my life. I got fired from working at Red Robin for doing that. When do we get the Barry Himina thing and jerk off on him, though? I'd say I can take on 311. And he clicks the button, and he's just this woman cussing him the fuck out. This is the weirdest theory I've ever heard in my entire life. Well, in a lot of ways, Big Boy's never left. I agree. He will tell you I'm a bad driver, but there's no evidence for that. I have intuition and I have demons. People fall for absolute monsters on a regular basis.
Hello, welcome to the Two Hippies, One Drunk podcast. I am your host this week, Scott. We're running a couple of promotions right now, so if you want to give us 5 stars on iTunes, comment, then we do a deal where I'll do an hour-long tarot reading for you, or Tyler will send you one of his drawings. This show runs a little bit different than most in that we switch hosting duties every week, and it's between 3 of us longtime comic buddies, and this week I wanted to do it on Rap Beefs.
All right. Flawless. That was a flawless introduction.
Yeah.
Like you've been doing it for 10 months.
I feel like full should end that sentence.
Okay, I feel like I covered everything. It was just
You
in a weird order. It was
No, you did cover everything. Yeah, for sure.
You did cover. You didn't introduce your co-host, but Oh,
yes. Got my co-host, Tyler Charles.
Yeah!
And Eric Beatty.
Hello.
Yeah.
Or should I say, yo? You know what I mean? Rap beefs,
Yeah.
right?
Yo, dog. It's double T right here.
Right.
Special episode.
It's like I drove to the
Little T.
destination, but I was swerving the entire time.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm
You
familiar
can call
with
me
that.
Little T for the rest of this episode, though, right? For this special rap episode.
No, we're not doing white boy rap shit. There's nothing I hate more.
I know.
We're
It's
not
Becoming
guys.
rappers. You still need to,
Yeah.
Give us our
I
names.
hate corny white people doing I'm doing a rap thing, like when they'll do like an acoustic cover of a rap song. or
Yeah.
something, and I'm like, oh my god, fuck off.
I mean, I
No.
1000% agree. I still need the nickname Little T for this.
I'm not calling you little
You
T.
call me Little T, and that is a part of this.
Okay, so I
Rap
wanted to
beefs.
talk- yes, my episode.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have a rap beef right now, Little T and Scott.
Remember when you guys used to rap on stage?
We did do one song. We did do.
What was it about? Wasn't it about
it was
like?
about fucking his sister.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Yes.
thought.
Yep,
Wasn't
that
there
was-
something about drugs though too? I thought there was something about
That
doing.
wasn't a rap song. That was just a
Yeah,
song.
there is a song, like another song we did about like he liked meth and I liked weed.
Yeah. Okay.
That's
Okay.
the premise of it.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Yeah. So, okay, kind of wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about. First of all, I was trying to think of what it is exactly that I love about rap beefs. Like what, and to me,
You don't get this in other music for the most part, by the way. Like sometimes,
Exactly.
That is.
I mean, sometimes, yes, there will be people that maybe don't like you. Some stuff comes out here and there, but not like rap, obviously.
not to the
Like,
level. of
not even
rap.
close.
I feel
Oh,
like
definitely not
you
even
might get
close.
a snotty comment in an interview or something from some other genre of music, but you're not getting full songs about that. Of
or Taylor Swift, like talking a little bit of shit about her ex or something. Like
Right,
that.
right.
But
Not
rap
freaking murder, killings and whatnot,
Yeah.
or fights and
fucking somebody else's mom or wife or whatever.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
And honestly, too, they end careers. Like, there's been so many people's careers who have been severely hurt by losing a rap beef.
The career,
Huh.
not them. They're not like killed off. Like it's their career.
I mean, there's been some that have also ended in murder to varying degrees. If you want to,
But they've lost the beef.
Yeah.
They've lost, like, in the end. I guess based on public opinion, I suppose, as it were.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
that was it. They couldn't come back. Well, I mean,
Totally.
some people joked. I mean, I'm going to use rap loosely, but some people joked. When Machine Gun Kelly went after Eminem, and then Eminem kind of kicked his ass a little bit. Then Machine Gun Kelly tried to go into pop music.
Yeah,
then he
I was
made
going to cover that. Yes.
Okay.
Totally,
It's
yeah.
just funny because then he went into another genre and still got his ass kicked.
Yeah. No, he got his ass beat into another genre. Exactly.
And then but then even in that
Into
genre,
another genre.
he made
Yeah.
fun of freaking Slipknot, and people were like, dude. And then I remember someone
Yeah.
saying, like, what's he going to be next? You're trying to be a country artist and then have, like, Luke Bryan have to go after him or something? Like,
Yes. Yep. Okay. So, and I feel like too, the other aspect of it is the nature of rap music lends itself to it. There's so much bragging and so many egos and stuff
Right.
and everything too that it lends itself to these situations. And there's nobody else. You were saying with music that's true, but like there's nobody else who is ever on this level that has their dirty laundry aired so publicly.
No,
like you might
you're
have
right.
a TMZ or something, figure something out, but you don't have another celebrity being like, no, I'm just gonna air your shit for 3 minutes.
Right. Yeah, no, you're right, for sure.
So
Yeah.
are you covering like your favorite rap beefs? Is
Okay, this will definitely be a thing that I'll come back to a couple of times because I could only do a small fraction of the ones I wanted to, but I picked out 3. One of them is
Okay.
Eminem versus Machine Gun Kelly.
Okay.
We'll get into that. First one is Nas and Jay-Z.
Nas
Okay.
and Jay-Z?
Have you guys heard anything about
I
it?
honestly
Is this a
don't know
recent
anything
thing,
about
or
it.
is this I don't.
Early 2000s,
Okay.
like 2000.
And remind me, Nas is like songs. What songs is he
He
like famous for?
honestly, like, he's done. I would say he has a CD, Illmatic, that is extremely considered like a classic and all of that. He was really before our time in a lot of ways. Like
Okay.
his career blew up around like the late 90s.
Would I know any of his songs?
No.
Like, okay.
No, I don't think so, to be honest.
Fair enough.
And he was basically the most well-regarded rapper in New York City, though, in the early 2000s.
Okay.
Okay.
And he was
Representing
and like
the
I said,
East
like Illmatic is most people, if they were to make the 10 best, most influential rap records of most time, like Illmatic would be on it.
Interesting. I
He's
really.
super-
No,
Go ahead.
sorry. No, I think I only know his name as any dumb person.
Same here.
Through I know his name, and I know probably mainly through Eminem songs. But Eminem giving him props as far as I can recall, like listing him in a few songs or something as being very, like you said, big and influential.
And he's one of those, like,
Classic.
he's like a rapper's rapper. Like, he's one of
Yeah.
those people that, like, a
Like,
lot of rappers really
respect him.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
exactly. And then, so kind of, I was trying to frame these two in a way, like, where you kind of have their characters. So I know you guys are familiar with Jay-Z, obviously. And I would say, yeah, it was this situation where he's kind of this guy who peaked a while ago, Nas is, but
Yeah.
he's still the king of New York as far as rap goes. Jay-Z is coming up. He's like starting to blow up, and he wants to take Nas's spot.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like
Who is Jay-Z is?
Jay-Z, yeah.
Okay.
And like all of this started because Jay-Z
I feel like Jay-Z won this fucking beef because I do not know who Nas is, but I definitely know.
Which again, like you said, it's just a style of music that lends to this because it's just how it is. Like, I mean, me listening to country music, you just don't get people in country music doing like it doesn't just get to that point where someone's like, oh, I need to be the next big guy, and they're just like, you ain't country motherfucker, like, and then like doing diss songs about somebody like, you say you plow the farms, but you live, you grew up in Nashville or something or whatever.
Yeah, like having like a fiddle battle. Just,
Yeah, I
like,
mean,
shitting on
right.
each other.
Actually, that'd be pretty dope, but
Yeah, that would be cool. I'd watch it.
And actually, like, funny enough, like you were saying that, like, most people would actually say this is a weird situation because most people would actually say that Nas won the beef. And-
okay.
Yeah, but
Oh.
the thing is, it was like that's like the last big thing Nas really did, where people were like,
What did he do to win?
yeah, he had this diss track called Ether that, like, well, we'll get to it. So basically, it all started because Jay-Z wanted Nas on a song, and Nas agreed to be on it to record just like a sample vocal, essentially.
Yeah.
Chorus.
Yeah.
And then Nas didn't show up. So Jay-Z just took some of his vocals from one of his songs and put it on the track.
So
Gotcha.
didn't sing song. Didn't even do the recording.
He didn't do the recording, but then Jay-Z also kind of stole some Nas's lyrics and put them on his track.
Okay, all right.
Track. And so, like, you had a situation where, like, then they started doing the subliminal shit. And that's a big thing, too, when you'll get into rap beefs, is, like, there is this thing where before it blows up into anything publicly, there'll be like these little shots people take at each
Yeah,
other.
yeah.
Like, for instance, like because Nas had this line where he's talking about all of his money and stuff and everything, and he says Lex with TV set is the minimum. And at the time, Jay-Z was driving around in a Lexus with like a TV.
Yeah. Okay.
And
So I got you. Yeah, that's
like, hey, I'm talking.
yeah. Oh, you're here. I get
Yeah.
it.
Okay.
But your average listener probably wouldn't pick up on it.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
figure they're talking about a Lexus or with a
Yes,
TV
exactly.
instead of a specific person.
So and then
So the beef started over him essentially stealing some of his clips from songs. Jay-Z stealing.
Well, I mean, technically, it sounds like it started when he just didn't show up to
And not
record this
didn't
thing.
show up.
Oh yeah, and he didn't
So it's
show up.
both
So
sides.
yeah, fuck them. That sucks.
and the other aspect of it is that Biggie died and Jay-Z started immediately like calling himself the King of New York and shit.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Which was that.
So people didn't like that very much. Like, yo, dude, or whatever.
Well, being like now that Biggie's dead, being like Biggie was the king, and now that he's gone, I'm the king.
I am.
And Nas is like, I was always the king. Like,
Yeah.
If Biggie
I could
wasn't
never
here,
be.
was
I just can't. Nothing against these guys. Good for them, man. I don't have a problem with it. But like, it just shows you I could never be a rapper. Like, I just
the
don't have
confidence,
the ego and the ability.
the serious, like straight up, I'm the fucking best of it. Like,
all
that
time, and it has to be
mentality.
all the time until you're not, and then it's like I just couldn't deal with it. I would not
And then
care
you're
enough.
constantly
Like,
having people cut you down.
Yeah.
Constantly people like threatening that.
right.
Yeah. But see, I would say like it is a weird thing though too, because I love like there's some rap tracks that are very egotistical that are bragging and stuff and all of that. They're like I fucking love. And like part of it is there is this tongue-in-cheek thing with a lot of it too, a lot of the time where you're like,
Oh no, dude, I agree.
How
Sometimes
serious are you being?
Yeah.
Just joking around,
Dude,
like, technically with your friends.
Yeah.
No, you're right, dude. I mean, I don't listen to nearly as much rap as you guys do, but I really like and respect the art form. And I know what you're saying. Yeah, there are absolutely songs to me when that is the whole shtick. It's just like, rolling around and whatever, wearing what. And I definitely can dig it. Like you're driving around and I'll sit there kind of be like, yeah, hell yeah, or whatever, even though I'm just driving my shitty little car. But
yeah, exactly. And like, okay, so basically,
for like a song.
Because by the way, because rock and roll did this too. So I would say
your whole life is sitting in a car, bouncing to some music, acting like you're the dopest shit ever. Like it's not just like a one-time thing or something.
Well, here's the thing though, for people that again, all of us have always talked about this idea of like just hating on one genre. So for people that really diss on rap for some of that though, dude, some of those people, if they're the same people listening to 80s rock and shit like that, shut the fuck up, dude. So much rock like that is all about just how much you can drink, how much drugs you can do, and same thing to me. So it's weird how some people will have that opinion. I'm like, dude, have you listened to like your Motley Crue stuff? What do you think that's about? Like,
yeah. And to be honest, too, like it is this thing, like it is you rap along with it, and it's as if like that's the thing too, is I feel like part of why those kind of songs are good too is that like you're kind of putting yourself in that place.
Of course.
Kind of, like, shit. You know what I mean? Like
to me, it is the same as like, again, like I said, some rock, a lot of rock people, once they get out of their first album, second album, they start doing songs about being on the road. Right. You know what I mean? And like Bob Seger's Turn the Page and shit like that. And, people that don't get to do that, like those songs for the reason you described. Like I'm not going to maybe get to experience touring on the road, but you listen to those songs and it makes you feel like for a little bit, like what it's like. And so same with the ones you're talking about.
Yeah. I was going to ask if, like these things kind of, like you said, are joking. Like you think at this point, Nas and Jay-Z are kidding. And is there like a clear point of turn? Where it's like, are they kidding at this point, or do they have a beef?
No, I think they have a beef. I think that it's
so this one wasn't them fucking around with each other.
Yeah.
But like, is there any like times like you could think of where it's like it's funny at first,
it's funny,
and then it turns. Like
no,
where they're friends and
because,
they joke around.
No, because if you're insulting somebody else in a rap song, like that's pretty much always going to be a problem because it is so based on your reputation and stuff like that. Which is one reason, like I was saying, that it can destroy careers. And so One thing is too that like these I've tried to streamline them as much as possible because the thing is too everybody has their labels and their crews and shit like that. So
Yeah.
there tends to be multiple people involved. But basically, Memphis Bleak is like Jay-Z's protege, and he starts putting all of these subliminals in his song about Nas. Like Nas has this song called Ball Till I Fall. So he says, my whole team rocks. We don't speak to cats. I'm a ball till I fall. What you think of that? And then, so Nas puts in a song then. He goes,
boy. Yeah, boy.
I need an encore, y'all. You should welcome me back. You want a ball till you fall? I can help you with that. Like,
yeah.
And whatever.
Oh, shit. Yeah, man. If
So-
you know both
You know what's-
artists, this has got to be so interesting
Yes,
while
exactly.
it's playing out. Where you're
Exactly.
You know what?
Oh,
The
shit, I
fun-
can't wait for that next song from them. What are they gonna fucking say? It's like a
Yeah.
narrative you're following.
Exactly.
That's the funny thing about rap. These ones, like when you eventually get into like into the Machine Gun Kelly shit. Now, if people have beefs, you can get on that night in your little home studio and record something. Back then, these would have been on, like they had singles,
Yeah, it
but
had to be
but it would've-
months of
right.
in between, right? Like,
Yes and no. Because here's the thing: diss tracks tended to come out in two different ways, either on a CD or there's like certain radio stations like Hot 97 and places like that.
Okay.
Tend to be sort of where a rapper will come on and do a freestyle.
Okay.
So it's like a
Do it
mix
there.
of things. It's
Yes.
not just their album.
No. And
Were
okay,
any of these on an album?
yes.
Okay.
So Nas does a freestyle at Hot 97 actually, and has this line about where he says, "Is he H to the Izzo, M to the Izzo?" Like calling
Yeah.
Jay-Z a homo.
Yeah.
basically.
Ooh.
Yep.
Which also, to be clear, anytime
When is this? This is 90s, right?
This is
Yeah,
early
no,
2000s.
2000s.
Early 2000s.
Okay.
It was still okay.
That's okay.
Yeah,
Actually, I think it's
not
still okay in
but
rap
it
from what
is
I can tell.
happening.
they still
I-
use the F slur in a lot of rap.
I was gonna say, I
nowadays.
kind of think it's
Yeah.
still okay in rap. I don't think they care too much about that
Yeah.
part.
That is fair.
Which is,
I mean,
actually,
it's not fair, but it's happening.
also to be clear with these, anytime if I say the F word, I'm talking about the gay slur. If I say the N word, I'm talking about the N word.
yeah.
To be clear, 'cause
Yeah.
it will come up. So then Jay-Z goes to, he is at the 2001 Summer Jam Festival, and Nas has a guy named Prodigy that's one of his proteges.
Yeah.
Of
Yeah,
Mobb Deep.
his prodigy.
yeah, exactly. Of a group called Mobb Deep. And so Jay-Z premieres this song Takeover there at the time, and he has this line where he says, I don't care if you Mobb Deep, I hold triggers to cruise. You little fuck, I got money stacks bigger than you. When I was pushing weight back in 88, you was a ballerina. I got the pictures, I seen ya. And then on the big screen,
Damn,
shows
dude.
a picture he got of Prodigy when he was a kid, dressed up like Michael Jackson.
Jesus, fuck, dude. That's pretty fucking rough, dude. That's good shit, though, man.
And
That's good
Prodigy
shit.
never came back from it. Like that was literally, I mean, he was so small at the time anyway. that
Yeah.
he just stomped out his reputation.
Which is funny because I mean, I guess I don't. I get it. I get it, and I don't get it. You know what I'm saying? On some level, like it's so funny to me in this.
So
in
that
this
seems
form-
like, yeah, I agree with you, Eric. I feel like you're showing, like, that stuff is, you're getting rid of him in the industry. It's not even his fans.
No,
Like, Prodigy's fans were probably like, no, I still like Prodigy, this whatever. But like, it was the community being like, nah, he's a little bitch. Like, we gotta get him out of here.
yeah, and also
Sorry to interrupt
especially
you.
back in the day, it's so masculine too that it's like anything that makes you look
Yeah.
weak is gonna be a problem.
Yeah,
Man, dude, that must have been. It must be so crazy in that situation where like they'd been doing these other little things before this, but for Jay-Z, but knowing he's gonna do this on this big stage and play and show this
yeah.
show this image on the.
Yeah, so many people, hundreds of people were involved with this shit.
Yeah,
Like at least like 50 individuals were setting up to fuck over Nas or
Yeah.
Nas's Prodigy.
yeah. I mean, I don't know how that works. There
'Cause, like,
definitely had to have been some level
Right?
of structural.
You're at a concert, you have people like setting it up, your sound guy, your all that stuff, or like
yeah, I could imagine
putting
you
the
got
image up there. You
you
think
got
Well, they wouldn't all
Jay-Z's
necessarily
pushing the
know.
button?
I mean, well, a lot of those would just be work. It depends on how big the situation is. Most of those would just be
Yeah.
workers that wouldn't know anything.
Yeah,
There'd
but
be a
I
few.
was just thinking, like, if you were a worker, would you like I'd still be like, I know about these guys. I'm a fan or whatever. Like
Yeah.
this seems kind of messed up that we're a part of this.
Yeah,
That's just how it goes.
Yeah, it happened.
So he puts that picture up, and the crowd just loses their shit. And then he has this
A real sounds like a real 8 Mile situation here. Like when they fucking, you know what I mean? The battle rap scene in 8 Mile almost. Like when he talks about him freaking that he went to Cranbrook and that's a private school and shit. Like,
well, yeah, and that's another thing is like if you talk about 8 Mile, it was a movie about the battle rap scene.
Yeah.
It's like all of this stuff from top to bottom is so
and I should say this, by the way, I actually will watch YouTube videos of battle raps of people I've never known before, because if they're good, it's so fucking fun to watch, even if I have no idea who they are. But if they're just like saying shit about that other person and you can tell they're just like, holy shit, dude.
Yeah, they're really hitting them where it counts.
Like I'll watch YouTube videos of those of battle raps with people I don't even know who they are, because it's just fun to watch.
Yeah, no, totally. And those can be vicious in a different way too, because it's people who don't really have reputation. So there's not as much of they'll really just go for the throat. So then he has like, I don't know, he has this part basically that was the end of the second verse of Takeover, but he ends up adding a third later. But he says, you guys don't want it with Hove, ask Nas, he don't want it with Hove. No, like after putting that picture up.
Yeah.
And then at that point, everybody's like, oh shit, like it's on. And then
so that's when it turns. That's when it's like we're full on beef.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, exactly.
Or when the public kind of it's not no more just subliminal shit. It's like, oh shit, everyone knows now. Like this is fucking
exactly. No, and then so like he adds a third verse because he had the album The Blueprint coming out pretty like soon after that. So when he put the Takeover on it and he added a third verse, and just like he basically, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but he has this whole breakdown in like attacking Nas, being like, dude, like, this album sucked, this album wasn't good. Like, you in the last 10 years, the only good album you've ever released was Illmatic or whatever.
Yeah.
And then he says, then this is important because he says this line where he goes, y'all N-word's gonna learn to respect the king. Don't be the next contestant on that Summer Jam screen, because you know who did you know what with you know who. Let's keep that between me and you.
Oh,
and that's like how he ends.
Yeah,
that's like how he ends the song.
Yeah. Do we know what it is now? What the situation was, or
yes?
What is it?
We'll get to it because it
will
come back up. So then Nas comes back with Ether, which is, I don't know, like I was trying to think of a good way to cover this because it is considered one of the best diss tracks ever, to the point where if somebody says you got ethered, it means like you got destroyed on a diss track.
Gotcha.
Okay.
I don't really understand why. I never thought it was that good.
Huh. I'll have to listen to it. I guess
is what, like a single song on a disc.
Yeah, well, yeah. In this case, he released it on Stillmatic, his studio album.
Okay.
But a diss track is typically when you've devoted the whole track to just attacking somebody.
Yes, okay, that's right.
And okay, he does have a couple of good lines though, because he does go. So Jay-Z did steal, or there was a thing going around where people were like, Jay-Z took some of Biggie's lyrics that he didn't use after he died.
Gotcha.
And so he has this line where he goes, little shorty's gonna get gunned up and clap quick. How many of Biggie's rhymes is gonna come out your fat lips?
Oh shit, man. That's fucking crazy, dude.
Pretty great. It's so disrespectful.
That's fucking crazy, dude.
Yeah, and then other than that, like, the thing to me about Ether though that's hard is it is mostly people, like, it's so like just on gay shit, like it's because it's early 2000s, so it's like all of this like
you sucking dick, you doing this and whatever,
calling him Gay-Z, calling his label Cockafellow, like just like that sort of a thing. I rock hoes, you rock fellas, because his label
like that sort of
shit. But so Sorry, I'm trying to get through this because I don't want us to run too far over and whatever. But like, so Jay-Z comes back with Super Ugly, which is the track where he then references the thing he was talking about in that other one.
Yeah.
And it's weird to me. I would say I think Super Ugly is a better diss track than Ether, but most people say Nas won with Ether because in it, Jay-Z tells Nas that his fiance was cheating on him with Jay-Z for a couple of years.
Oh.
Yeah, I feel like that's way worse. Especially if it's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that's way more fucked up.
Yeah.
And was it true in the end? I mean, that we know of at this point.
Who admitted? Was it him or Jay-Z, or was it the girl?
The girl did interviews and stuff at a certain point for sure.
How did those? What they were what an insane thing to like. Rap 2 is like another thing. I never fucking watch an interview where like what's this song about and break it down. Like, why did it affect you in this way? It's like, no, your single's great and it's awesome.
Yeah.
And this is like, no, we need to talk about these lyrics. What's this shit about Jay-Z fucking you? Like, what the fuck?
Right.
What a weird thing to have in an interview, like with a musician or a musician.
Yeah, I've never heard. Never heard Alan Jackson doing a song about fucking like George Strait's wife or something like that. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna read you these lyrics real quick. All I really know is your hoe wants to be with me and she ain't playing. What I'm saying is she creeps with me and sleeps between the sheets. I came in your Bentley back seat, skeeted in your Jeep, left condoms on your baby seat. And since you infatuated with saying gay shit, you was kissing my dick when you was kissing that bitch.
Oh, shit.
I think Jay-Z won that. What? Fuck you, Ether. I'm sorry. That's so much.
That's pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty. Damn, dude, that's a big punch.
Yeah, dude.
Because and the funny thing is that's not gay.
On your baby seat.
Yeah.
Like, man.
I think the reason people say Jay-Z lost is, first of all, he does seem a little bit shook and desperate on the track.
Fair enough.
Gotcha.
I can see that.
But the other reason is because hilariously, like a day or two after it was released, Jay-Z went to Hot 97 and apologized because his mom heard the track and demanded that he apologize to Nas.
Oh boy.
His mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not. That can lose. That loses. That's enough to me to say you lost it technically. Even if you moved on to be more successful.
Then you lost it because your mom got involved.
Yeah.
You should not have apologized to Nas.
Yeah, so that's the thing. It's like, yeah, it's hard to come back from to say you want a beef when you apologize.
It's so funny. Like I just didn't get into rap until well after high school. So I know Jay-Z. I've actually seen him with Eminem, but I don't. I'm not. Don't know him that deeply enough, but to know him and like to think that at one point now, I didn't realize that he had gone on a radio station and had to apologize for talking about cheating on, or sleeping with another dude's girlfriend or wife or whatever. And because his mom made him do it.
Yeah.
That's not so rough. That's not so hard.
Like that's bullshit. And like, there's some people behind closed doors that was like, you motherfucking apologize or we'll kill you.
And maybe just use his mom as kind of an out.
Yeah.
At least it's something. Like, I can see that too.
One thing rappers respect, their moms.
Yeah.
Like, that's like one of the biggest things. They all are like totally like, don't fuck with my mom. My mom is important to me. Like,
it's funny you say that though. I've thought the same thing where I was like, is that really the reason why?
Yeah.
Maybe that is
or did he just use it as a way to
over with a fucking AK that says you don't apologize?
Right?
No.
Yeah, I could see that, and that'd be
beef.
He would know he would lose, but it'd be better than him just coming out there saying, "Yeah, sorry." But if he was like, "Well, guys, I hate to say it, it does sound more acceptable."
Yeah, no,
at least if it's like my mom heard the track.
It makes sense. I feel like Jay-Z played it right by not going up there and being like, either I was intimidated, get shot and die,
yeah,
or like go there and say he's apologizing for his own right, because if he does that, he's losing his career.
Yeah.
He goes on a radio station and said, "I'm sorry for my own purposes."
That was over the line. I apologize.
Yeah, I shouldn't have said that. I feel bad.
Yeah, and honestly, too, like it is. You're right too. Where there's one thing I feel like you can get away with as a rapper that would be considered kind of soft. It's loving your mom.
Yeah.
You can totally do that. Where it's like, he loves his mom. Yeah.
Well, it's
like
the only way he
mobsters
could have
do it, but-
apologized.
Yeah.
It's the only
Same
way he
thing.
could have, if he was like Tyler's thought, it's the only way if he was forced, if someone said, dude, you better fucking say you're sorry for this, or you can't walk that back a little bit. His mom is the only way he could have done it and not been completely done.
Yeah. He would have been completely screwed if he apologized on his own accord.
Okay, so yeah, okay, last thing about that too though, but it is crazy too to me that like they've appeared on rap songs together and
Oh,
stuff
really?
after
Sense?
that. Yeah,
Okay.
Nas actually, I believe right now is on Jay-Z's Rockefeller label.
Huh. That's interesting.
So it's like it does, yeah, like they
Well, people can
weirdly
squash
made up.
beefs at some point, I guess. I don't know.
I
I'm
mean,
sorry,
are
you
we
say-
saying Nas killed Jay-Z and is puppeting his body?
Right. I don't know. Yeah, you say you fucked my fiance on a song.
Yeah, I'd be pretty pissed.
I know, but I don't know. I'm just saying it is possible, I suppose. I mean, Jay-Z's a money dude. If he thinks
Yep.
thinks he makes money, if he thinks he can make money off of it, he might just
He
be like,
might
"Hey,
do
dude,
it.
I'm a businessman. We don't talk,
That
you
is
know, or
very
whatever,
true.
maybe." But
And I think Nas would be exactly the same way, to be honest. And I do think that that's a big
Yeah.
part of why. Okay, so we could be a little bit looser with this one because the second one I do have is Eminem and Machine Gun Kelly, and it sounds like you already know a decent amount about that.
I know about it because it was more recent, and that was when I was into more into that type of music. I still don't at this point remember everything about it, but I remember certainly I know a lot more about it than I did the other one.
Eminem is arguably, I would say it's not a crazy statement to say that he's probably the best battle rapper of all time.
I could see that. Yeah.
He has destroyed, I mean, so many careers.
Is it some of and not that I don't want to sit there and necessarily just break down Eminem, but is it some of it is that he's so fucking fast with just even how he says things that he can get just shit, or is that he's so smart that he puts the words together and the diss is right? You know what I'm saying? Or is it both of those?
Yeah,
Like-
I think.
I'd say the diss is right.
Yeah, and
because like back in the day, like he could rap kind of fast, but like he leans into that more now, and I don't really enjoy like, what he
100%.
does.
No, I know Scott's
Yep.
feelings on that, but I meant with
I
battle
feel like
rapping
back in
though.
the day, yeah, no, he knew
It seems
how
like
to,
it does benefit you
sting.
in that situation though, because it just makes you seem. And I know what you're talking about with his songs, but if you're battle rapping someone, dude, and you can fucking it's just like it makes the appearance like, dude, that guy just fucking killed him. Because if you
Yeah.
can't keep up with that, I feel like you're just like, oh yeah, that's
I don't
over.
know. One of my favorite songs that I know that he was a part of it, not battle rap, maybe it is, but that Bully song.
that
he made.
Bully was part of. Yeah, that was technically a diss track.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that is it's not super fast, but it's like damn.
Well,
you
but I
are
was saying it
mean.
but I was saying in
You
you are a mean person. when
but
it
I was
comes to
talking
slighting you.
a battle rap situation versus a diss track. I'm saying like if you're
Yeah.
literally just sitting there with somebody and you're gonna
Like
fucking go at
battling
him right
back
there
and
with your
forth.
rap.
That
just
is
think if you
true.
can-
if
if
somebody
you have
was
the
going
smarts-
super fast and saying some shit, I would pick that person.
And he's smart, so
Yeah,
and he's good with the words too. So you get both
Yeah.
those combined. It'd be hard to sit there and be like, "Yeah, that guy lost." You know what I mean?
I think there's truth to it, but also I think that like it is a weird thing because I think rapping fast is totally an extreme crutch that he's used for
Yeah.
the last decade.
I feel like if you
Okay.
got flow, you don't need to be like you can do that every once in a while and show off. But like if you got flow, most of your songs just being clear.
Yeah.
And I would say if there was one reason why he was so good, it's because he came up through Detroit's battle rap scene. I mean, that
Okay.
was like how he got famous was Drake
Right.
saw him at a rap competition in Detroit.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's Yeah.
pretty nuts.
and so like it is with this situation in specific too. It is one of those things where I'm like, Eminem is so far past his prime, and
Right.
I totally believe if it was somebody who wasn't Machine Gun Kelly, who was a little bit more clear with how they attacked him,
Yeah.
probably take him down.
Yeah, I get it.
In fact, I thought Machine Gun Kelly did a pretty decent job. I don't know if you've heard Rap Devil, but like,
I think I probably did because at the time I actually was kind of paying
He's calling
attention.
Eminem the rap devil.
He's called himself the Rap Devil
Oh.
because Eminem has that song Rap.
Right. I'm pretty sure I did hear it at the time because this one I actually kind of was paying attention to as it was happening. I mean, it's already been a few years, hasn't it, or something? Or
Yeah,
has it
2
not?
years.
Yeah.
think
So
too.
I weirdly, I don't. It's not something I listen to on a regular basis. I believe I heard it when it came out, though. I 100% sure that I did.
Because, like, I've been listening to a bunch of diss tracks and stuff just to prepare for this episode over the last
Yeah.
week. And I would say, if you're talking about as an actual song, I would say Rap Devil is the most enjoyable diss
No,
track
I
to
remember
listen
thinking it was
to
pretty
any-
good. I thought he
Out of all
said
of them?
some.
Yeah.
I remember thinking it was good. I actually don't even. Here's a funny thing. Like, I liked Machine Gun Kelly's pop album. Like Travis
Okay.
Barker, like I think, or either Travis Barker or the other dude from Blink, like produced it and
Yeah.
shit. And he went on, and so like I liked his pop album, pop punk album, as it were.
Yeah.
So I didn't, and I remember thinking you're right. I remember not thinking that that his diss album on Eminem was bad. I just think Eminem, is so big
How did
and
their,
is good at
beef
what he
start?
does
'Cause I don't know.
it was going to be hard for him to lose that. That's all.
Yeah.
Like he
Yeah,
was going to, Machine Gun Kelly was going to have to be like fucking perfect, like dead on, and then also have Eminem just flop. You know what I mean? To win.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So, because Tyler was just breaking it up, so this is a good point.
Yeah, I'm not
The way
entirely
it
sure.
started is Machine Gun Kelly back in like 2012 made a tweet where he was actually got it written down so I can get it exactly right. Said, okay, so I saw a picture of Eminem's daughter, and I have to say she is hot as fuck in the
Yeah.
most respectful way possible because M is the king, is what he said.
She is good looking,
Okay,
by the way.
that doesn't seem that bad.
No, she is hot.
Yeah, she
Definitely.
is hot. Yeah, hell yeah, she is.
Eminem's
Eminem's
know.
daughter is hot.
And no, it's not
But
that
is
bad.
it that bad? Is she? How old is she?
She's
in the
she
picture?
is. Oh, that's a good point. 'cause This
She
would've
probably
been
wasn't-
2 years ago.
she
I think he was.
She might
like
have been
6
20
years. It would have been.
Yeah,
would have
I
been in
think he was,
college by
like,
then,
22.
right?
No, I think he was 22 and she was 16.
Oh, she was in high
that
school
is-
still.
Yeah,
Okay.
'cause I'm pretty sure that
you
was.
shouldn't be saying stuff about
Yeah.
a 16-year-old girl. I feel like that's why
That's
Eminem
fair.
got pissed.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Also, because I think Eminem is a narcissist, and narcissists use children as possessions,
Yeah,
and
for sure.
I think that it's by extension then disrespectful to him. to be
Yeah.
perfectly honest.
For sure.
So because
Well, and again, also in that game, I always thought, honestly, I really did think, and we disagree personally on some of his newer stuff. I know you don't like it as much as I do, nearly as much. In fact, I think you don't like it, but I like
No.
a lot of his newer stuff. But I did think that he would be somebody who was gonna actually like rap is hard. We talked about some of the Detroit cast for a while. Rap is a really hard thing because you can't really do it like the Rolling Stones. You can't be 70 years old and going around and doing, forget about Dre or something.
Rep, dude. You have to be
And
some
so-
kind of background character.
I thought he was
Yeah.
so popular and so successful that he really would end up just kind of backing off and being like a producer, being like a doctor, what Dr. Dre did, But in the end, he must have had enough of an ego that he didn't quite want to give it up. He wanted to still think he was the guy.
Yeah, because
Or still does.
Or is a clone now. There's the theory that he's
Yeah.
been replaced.
Okay,
Right.
I'm not going through any. This is the second time you pointed out that someone might be like controlling somebody else.
Is that-
Okay.
It's a clone.
Yeah, and I would say too, like, you're right. Most rappers they either go the producer route, like Dr. Dre.
Well, there's
something that,
yeah,
or they do the Ice Cube thing and they become an actor.
right. And he
and
kind of, what's so weird about it? The funny thing is for any of us,
an 8 Mile was great.
No, he does.
Oh,
a good
yeah,
job
yeah.
in Eight Mile,
you know what's funny?
He
So
does
I
the-
didn't.
Have you done any other movies? Sorry.
No.
Okay.
No, not really. The funny thing about it is, and in reality, by the way, for all three of us, it doesn't give a fuck what any of our opinions are. He's wildly successful,
yeah.
more money than we'd ever know what to do with.
Yeah.
So it's funny because it doesn't really matter. He can do whatever the fuck he wants, obviously.
I would
It's just-
argue he is extremely insecure and gives way too much of a fuck about all
Oh.
of our opinions.
I agree with you. That's not what I was saying. I was just saying for us to pass judgment on him is irrelevant in reality.
Yeah.
Now you're right. He appears to be very worried about what anybody says to him. I've heard before too, by the way, that I think he's really insecure about his actual education. Like he doesn't like to do interviews, and I've heard it's because I don't think he worries they'll come off dumb because he wasn't highly educated.
Insane to me. Somebody who is like that level of a lyricist.
I know, but I've heard that before. I've heard rumors of that before, though.
I would argue, I think he doesn't like to do interviews because he's a weird guy who comes across as very unlikable.
Yeah, I know. You guys probably
Um,
didn't see it, dude, but he did when I forget which one of the albums he had coming out, but I couldn't even believe he was going to do it because he doesn't do things like this, and he ended up doing an in-booth interview at a Michigan football game. It was like
we talked about that before you and I did. Yes.
Okay, at one, and it
where
was
he like zones out.
Yeah, and I was just like, holy, because I was so excited. I remember they were saying like, dude, Eminem's gonna come up here and talk to us a little bit. And I'm like, holy shit, he's gonna go up in the, in the college football, like, during the game and talk a little bit about his new album. And he was just, yeah, it was.
Yeah, I mean that famously, but I mean also like they did try to when the Slim Shady LP originally came out, he would do a lot more interviews and a lot more like where he was just talking and like even back then and. Phenomenal. Slim Shady LP through 8 Mile are some of the biggest Stone Cold classics of my lifetime. But even back then, anytime he would talk, it is viscerally like this man is grating, and I don't.
I saw one thing recently, by the way. I don't even know where this popped up, but I know where it popped up. It popped up on my Facebook, but I don't know why or where what page it was shared from or whatever. Right? You're watching movies, and it was a video of him in like 98 on MTV News or something like, and that one dude that used to be like the mainstay at the very in the 90s.
I've seen this video. Yeah,
he actually looks pretty normal in that one. I remember thinking he looked. I mean, they're just like driving through like kind of
this guy.
They're just like driving through his kind of old hood or something, and he's like, yeah, over there. Right? And it's the only time I've ever seen him talk where he seemed somewhat normal.
I didn't even think he did in that one. I thought he seemed like he was making the MTV guy uncomfortable and cracking a lot of jokes that were not landing.
Maybe I'd have to look back on it, I guess. I don't know. But anyway,
weird. Somebody so smooth and so like understands that like I don't know, especially joking, especially prodding, making fun.
Here's the reality though, Tyler, dude, you should know this as an artist. Honestly, the reality is though, when you have such a special talent at one thing and you're people are just not, if you're very, very good at one thing, I think it lends to you just having these other human faults that get even more amplified. It's just not easy. Like and I'm not trying to give him some benefit of the doubt that he doesn't deserve. I agree that he's highly insecure, probably a narcissist, like Scott says. But on the same hand, I think that if you're not at that level, it's just weird. Humans are not, most people you meet in a day to day, they're just a normal kind of person that doesn't have any extraordinary skill. And I don't know.
I think you need that like narcissism to like be a rapper.
Hell yes. Yeah. Kinda. On some level.
I 1,000% agree. I think you
I've always said about us doing comedy, dude. I always think like, I try to be a grounded person and stuff like that. But I've also said like on the same hand, I got to a point where I felt I was good enough that I should get paid to do some kind of entertainment. And it's like, that's pretty narcissistic to think that I'm good enough that I deserve money to be entertaining. Yeah. But it's like, so it's whatever. Anyway, we should get back to
for sure.
Yeah. Egotistical. There you go. It's kind of the word. So anyway, let's get back into the beef.
And there is definitely a certain level of ego to thinking like, oh, I should be paid for my personality.
Right. I mean, and I don't think I'm an ego. I think I'm a very non-ego guy, but on the same hand, I've always said to people, but I have said it to people before, but I'm saying
I make the world a better place by being me.
Right. Like that's kind of crazy in reality.
For real.
So okay, I wanted to get to one more before we finish up because this one is great. Have you guys familiar at all with the Drake versus Pusha T beef that happened? If you know, Eric,
I don't
fucking spoil the end.
I don't know actually.
Okay,
this has nothing to do with the Degrassi or whatever it does.
Degrassi
or Degrassi.
No.
I always forget that Drake was in Degrassi. He was the kid who got shot, right?
Yes.
Okay.
What a shock! A black guy getting shot.
Yeah.
And just in that it ended up being Drake versus Pusha T. Drake is I would argue probably the softest guy in rap. I don't think there's anybody softer than him.
Does he? I don't know much. I don't know much about Drake.
Drake.
Okay.
For the most part, so he is a rapper though. Like
Drake.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And like a legit rapper. Like you said, he's soft, but I mean, what does he rap? If he's not hard, I hate to say it, it's almost a weird thing. Like if you're not hard, then what is he rapping about? You know what I mean?
He tries to act hard, and he's on the Young Money label, so he's in the same vein as like Lil Wayne, Nicki Minaj. Like,
okay.
That general style.
Gotcha.
And he sings and stuff too.
Okay, yeah,
apparently talks and whispers.
Okay, but then Pusha T is like, he is an ice cold like crack dealer who became a rapper, and like,
yeah, you don't get a name like Pusha T. You're pushing drugs, like, right?
Well,
a real like, paperboy situation we got going on.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, and that's the thing, and like, so, okay, really quick too. I wanted to because Lil Wayne's gonna come up in this, and I don't know a better time to ever bring this up, but it's one of the weirdest, most interesting, like strange rap facts to me is like, have you guys ever seen that picture of Lil Wayne and Birdman kissing?
I have seen that.
I think I probably showed
I think you probably showed it to me.
Yeah.
Or I don't think so. I think I looked it up because the Boondocks did an episode about that, and I was like, who are they talking about? And I looked up and I saw that picture.
Yeah, and he when that picture came out, he then released a song called Kiss My Daddy, where he defended it and was like, Birdman's like my dad.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't kiss your dad straight out the mouth.
No.
Yeah.
No.
It was a side cheek and a hug. Let's stop making out with your dad.
Okay, but yeah, you have Birdman who owns the label, and Birdman tried to rap a long time ago. He got a beat from Pharrell, and Pharrell, are you looking up the picture?
Yeah.
Fair enough. Okay, and so he got a beat from Pharrell that he didn't pay for.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it's insane, right? It's how is everybody not talking about this all the time? Like,
I mean, I'm not trying to be. It doesn't matter in a like. I mean, it doesn't.
It's just guys, weird.
But it's weird because they're not. You know, it is weird.
Yeah, and that he released a song "Kiss My Daddy" in response to that.
Yeah.
Which just double down on it.
Yeah.
Well, I guess you gotta do something, right?
Yeah. Okay. So basically, Birdman, who owns Cash Money, which is the label like all the Young Money people are under.
Gotcha.
Like he tried to rap a long time ago. He's bad at it, but he used a Pharrell beat that he didn't pay for. Pharrell is with like Kanye West and Pusha T and all of those guys under.
Yeah.
So Pusha T and Lil Wayne beefed back and forth for a long time over that. And honestly, like it's not even worth covering. It's pretty boring. Never really cared for it. But so they're like throwing subliminals back and forth, and then Drake starts doing that. Basically just not using his name, but saying that Pusha T made up his made up that he was a drug dealer, or like largely exaggerated that he was a drug dealer.
Right.
And so Pusha T starts coming back at him, be like also in subliminals, not flat out saying it, but basically saying like you have ghostwriters and you don't write your own stuff, and like you're not really black.
Okay.
Decided to call him not black. You're not really black.
He's not black.
Okay.
Yeah.
But still, that was Pusha T's whole thing, basically.
That you're not black.
Yeah.
Not really black.
And then it all kind of exploded into when Pusha put out Infrared, the song Infrared. He says it was written like Nas, but it came from Quentin. He still didn't use Drake's name, but Quentin Miller is the guy who ghostwrites most of Drake's stuff, or a lot.
That's very odd to me. Like in that form of music, having a ghostwriter
Yeah, like isn't the
seems
whole point that you write your own shit?
A lot of famous people don't. A lot of famous rappers. If you look in the,
Seems insane to me.
if you look in the covers of like a lot of albums where the
Really?
credits are, you will see written by, and it'll be the rapper, and then it'll be like 3 other people. And
gotcha.
you're like,
That's so weird, though. I feel like, especially with rap, it's so.
Dude, I hate the idea with that with
supposed to be
comedy.
your voice, your thing,
Yeah.
like a song that a songwriter kind of makes sense if you're super famous and you're just like, I don't want to write anymore. So
Yeah.
give me this, I'll keep making shit. But like, rapping is so lyrically based.
yeah,
Like it's hard to even imagine them
no,
not writing.
yeah. I think also if there's a guy who would do that, it would be Drake.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That makes
Yeah.
sense for
This is
sure.
like pop rap, right?
And
Like
also,
I don't know what you categorize
Yeah.
that as, but
and it is also this collaborative thing where it is like, I honestly, people take or borrow lyrics from each other, especially if they're friends. Like, they
No,
will
I get
contribute to
that.
each
I can
other's
understand,
songs.
like, especially like if you were like in a group or something. I can understand in rap. If I could understand, like, yeah, if you know, like I said, a group, like when D12 was there, or sitting around, or Eminem sitting around with other people, and oh, dude, this is good. This is, but having a full on ghost writer seems a little more different to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, totally. And in fact, okay, so Pusha T writes that, and then so Drake comes back the same day with this thing called the Duppy freestyle, where he says, okay, he basically involves Kanye West in it because Kanye West and Pusha T is on Kanye West's label.
Yeah.
And like
Okay.
guests on a lot of his songs and stuff. He says,
so like you're beefing too because
Yeah.
I'm pissed off.
so if you rebuke me for working with somebody else on a couple of these, what do you really think of the Edward that's making your beats? I've done things for him I thought he never would need. Now you popping up with jokes, I'm dead, I'm asleep. I just left from over by y'all, putting pen to the sheets. Tired of sitting quiet and helping my enemies eat. Basically being like, I've ghost wrote shit for Kanye West.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is,
Yeah.
basically the response to it. And then he says, tell Ye
Wasn't that kind of shitty to Kanye?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's always, honestly, all of these rap beefs end up then involving
Yeah.
All these
circles
other people.
all the time.
Yeah. Feel like it's kind of shitty to your own guy. That's my thing.
I almost think it's impossible not to at some point if it gets strong, if it gets going long enough, probably.
Well, and if we're talking about authenticity too, I feel like he's trying to say, I do write, I am a writer. And like, I don't think there's anything wrong with if Drake did write some of Kanye West lyrics.
Yeah.
That's peers collaborating.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like we've all
Which more what I was
gotten
talking about. There's a
joke
different-
from another comic.
Right.
where they've
That's
been
what I
like,
was
"Oh,
talking
we
about.
don't
I
need
think
to
there's
joke
a-
for you."
Yeah. That's what I was
Yeah,
saying. Like,
that's
I think there's a difference between legit collaboration and co-writing versus full on just having ghost
Taking.
writings. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then he
Or
ends it
having
with-
someone write all your songs for you. Like, it's one
Yeah.
thing if you all 3 of us sit around and we're all kind of writing jokes and like, dude, that'd be
Yeah.
a better Scott
Just
joke.
add that into it
Right.
rather than like I'm gonna go in this room and write you stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I got this other guy who wrote something for me. Now I'm just gonna rap it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so he ends it with, he says, tell Ye we got an invoice coming to you considering we just sold another 20 for you. Basically just saying like you beefing with us is helping you sell records.
Yeah.
And so Pusha tweets him and says, send the invoice for the extra 20. And Drake makes a fake invoice for $100,000 for promotional assistance and career reviving and posts it online.
That's funny.
That's pretty funny. Yeah.
That's
Okay.
actually really good. That's funny.
So then Pusha comes with the story of Adidon, which is, a lot of people would say this, and I totally agree, the most vicious diss track that has ever come out on anybody.
Really?
Just mean. Just
Okay, because this is why. First of all, on the cover of it, he got a picture of Drake in blackface,
Yeah.
which goes along with the whole "you're not black" thing. or
Right.
whatever.
That he's not really black.
on the cover of it.
On the cover of it, and it was something.
So
I
it was
guess-
like a Drake lookalike, or they took a picture and put blackface on Drake.
it was Drake was doing some sort of art concept thing or something for somebody when he was an actor, and they got his audition
Oh.
tapes.
They just straight took that from it.
Yeah, yeah. So
Okay,
they
that's
took
pretty
him in
great.
blackface from that.
So he
Made
was
it.
in blackface, but he already did that himself.
No, made it is the cover, and then
That's awesome.
on top of that
That
is
is
like
awesome.
making fun of. Says about his producer. He's got a producer 40 who makes most of his beats.
Yeah.
And who has muscular sclerosis. And so he says, 40 hunched over like he 80, tick, tick, tick. How much time he got? That man is sick, sick, sick. Like,
Oh, Jesus Christ, dude.
and then, this is the big thing. He fucking found out that Drake had a love child he was not supporting.
Really? Oh, here we
And
go.
put
Good
that
ammo.
on the track. Like, he says, a baby's involved. This is deeper than rap. We talking character. Let's keep with the facts. You are hiding a child. Let that boy come home. Deadbeat father playing Border Patrol.
Oh, Jesus Christ, dude, man.
It just like reveals to the world that Drake had, yeah, that.
Some kid he wasn't doing shit with.
Yeah.
Yes. And,
Fucking rough, man.
Then he ends up just being like, yeah, we're going to get surgical with this. If you want, we're going to peel it back layer by layer or whatever.
More than that,
implying
like,
he's
you know
got
what I
a
mean?
bunch
Like,
more shit.
Yeah.
yeah,
Did
yeah.
he? Did he stop or like what?
No, Drake literally like immediately backed off and was,
Ooh,
he
he had
did-
some shit, dude.
yeah,
He had to have some real dark shit.
yeah.
Well, I mean, that kid was already probably pretty big in reality. The kid alone.
Yeah,
I
the
mean,
kid. I
Yeah.
guarantee you. But if he's saying I got layers and layers,
Yeah.
like, how many things you got on Drake?
And if I had to guess, Drake has a reputation for liking underage girls.
I was just gonna say
So-
pedophilia. I was just gonna say
Yeah.
pedophilia.
Oh, this? Yep. I believe it. I believe it. I'm full on believing it. You're on board for once, Eric.
Yeah, finally. Yeah, Tyler always goes to pedophilia, but this was my first.
This is your
First-
one
This is the
time.
correct
Yeah.
one.
Yep.
He-
They're all pedophiles.
He tried. He went on radio stations. It was like, yeah, no, I recorded a track to get back at him, but honestly, like it was so mean. I didn't like hearing myself.
Oh
say it.
yeah,
the
right.
fuck
It was so good. I
Whoa.
couldn't even do it.
Yeah, I couldn't release it to the world. Your ears would bleed.
Yeah, I would have won.
Exactly.
Yeah, everyone would have realized I was better, but I couldn't do it. It was just too
I
good.
couldn't live with myself after destroying this man.
Yeah, his shit was pretty brutal, but mine was worse.
What about that thing with your kid? Well, let's not get to that. What about the fact that he said he had a lot of more shit on you?
We're all joking here.
What I would say is that follow-up would be like, oh, really?
Here's your
You
little son.
have a song that's so good, but you just don't want to release it? Does that have anything to do with the fact that he claimed he had a lot more shit on you?
Yeah.
Right.
Like a lot
or
more?
that you don't. Does it have anything that you don't have that track?
Yeah, that's
And
the
no
thing.
one believes you.
And that's the thing. There's no world where he how do you beat that diss track? You can't
Yeah.
do it in the first place,
No.
and then you are just courting this dude who probably has more shit on you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Layers and layers.
Fucking hilarious, dude. I wouldn't want to get caught in a beef in a rap beef.
No,
How
not
would
if
you do that?
you're straight a pedophile and have a kid that you haven't
Dude,
supported.
I don't have
No.
either of those things, and I still wouldn't want to do it. I just
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
need people
You're
fucking
what will come up. I don't know.
Right. I've always had this paranoid thought in my life that even though I haven't I'm not perfect, but I don't think I've done anything that would be worthy of any of that. But I have this weird belief that somehow it's still like they're just gonna. I don't even know. Like, I've
find
always had this,
something out. Yeah.
yeah. Get some girl at a bar 10 years ago to say I fucking slapped her on the ass or some shit. Or I
Yeah.
don't know. Like
Yeah, that's true. Because without that, you're just kind of attacking somebody's like character and stuff like
Right.
that. Which to me is like I love doing roasts in stand-up comedy because that shit
Yeah,
doesn't
oh,
bother
no,
me at all.
no,
You know
you're
what I
right.
mean?
yeah,
wanna
you're
come at
right.
me for how I look, how I act, whatever, like that.
Yes,
that's
comedy
fun.
roasts are fucking when they're done well are amazing, but they're not the same vein. They don't tend to be literally like, and I heard
Nobody's
you raped
getting
a
in
woman or
fist fight
something.
after a
Yeah.
comedy.
They
roast.
shake hands and are friends afterwards.
Yeah.
Well, it's always it's usually very much in fun and jest and amongst people that know each other, and they're like, it's not like, and I heard you raped 10 women or something. Like,
yeah, and I fucked your wife, and I left my condoms on your baby, whatever.
they're all just stuff like they're all just stuff that we could all say about each other. Like we could sit here each other and rip each other apart of things we know, but it's just not the same. You're right. Comedy roasts are fucking, when they're done right, are incredible. They're the best thing I can ever watch if they're done right.
Totally. I love participating in them. Like I've done that, just local comedy roasts or whatever. It's a fucking blast. There was one time it cracked me up. There was a comic in Michigan who did a roast for her birthday and ended up crying.
Yeah, that's not a good. Not a great idea.
Yeah. This is the best idea. If you're gonna do a roast, you need to
better
understand that you're getting roasted.
Right, you have to understand the premise of what a roast is if you're going to do
You're the roasty. It's like you're going to get the most roasted. Yeah. Just don't do a roast. Just have a birthday party.
Right. Or just do a comedy show and say, hey, I'm having all my friends do their best. Don't say it's a roast.
Doesn't need to be about you. And if it does, then have people say nice things and like do one of those honey roasts. Or whatever. Where you, like,
I'm not going to a honey roast.
I'd go to a honey roast if they had chicken.
I would do a roast for my birthday, but like
I would too. I wouldn't give a fuck.
I know because
that's fair.
It's like I love that shit. Like
say whatever the fuck you want about me. I'm sure I'll probably be laughing the loudest. To be honest with you, like I'll probably be like, he's fucking killing me. He's right. This is all terrible. This is all right. I'm a terrible person.
And honestly, if you do that, I feel like it's less bad. Like people look at it. You less bad if you're crying up there.
It's
shaming you for the
that must have been very uncomfortable at the end.
Dude, somebody crying.
Imagine like you were up next and she was crying at the last verse.
Yeah, what do you do then?
Like, what do I do?
You honey roast it. You switch, or you just really dig in and be like, "Fuck this chick, I don't know, or person."
Be like, I got me to do this.
Yeah,
I spent my time.
I wrote up a thing.
I need to read my list.
I guess what you could do at that point is you could do what they do at a lot of the big ones is you could just roast a lot of the other comics.
And then
then kind of don't really do her, I suppose.
Yeah.
But the problem is those
like hug her and leave.
That's the only because in a lot of like the Comedy Central ones, they spend usually the routine is they spend a few 5 minutes or so doing all the other comics on stage, and then they're like, and now to the main event. So I guess you could do that.
And even when we've done local roast, that's been the general structure.
Yeah.
Like you write jokes for everybody,
and then 1 or 2 for the main person.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
Maybe 3 tops. Like
just
and then maybe for her, you just hold that off. I guess
if you're the roasty, it's gonna go bad for you.
No. All right, but yeah, that was our episode on Rap Beefs. Like I said, there's so many more that are so great. I'll definitely.
Oh, I'm sure.
Honestly, I really enjoy this stuff. So, like I was talking to Scott about this before. One of my favorite. I always. It's on the peripheral of my like vision of rap stuff all the time where I'm like, I know these people are rapping or having a beef, and I know there's an issue between them. But I don't know specifically what those lines are saying, how they apply to those other people. And that's one of the things that really interests me about this episode is just like what are those things that they're saying about them and how do they apply to the other people?
No, it is interesting.
You're talking shit, but I don't know about who or specifics. I want to laugh with you. I want to be there for.
Yeah,
and I really enjoyed like talking about that. Yeah, I would say that's kind of my final thought.
Okay, you got a final thought, Eric?
Much like I always say, the mafia. I couldn't be in the rap world, the rap game. I always say that about the mafia too. Like any of these things, like comedy is brutal. But there's never usually, I feel like this like thing of like, this is the best and I have to do whatever it takes to take this comic down. In rap and like mafia, some of that gang shit, I could never be in a thing where you're always like, even if you make it to the top, then you're just checking your back every second after that, who's coming next and who's going to say, God bless them because it's entertaining for a lot of people, but I couldn't do it personally.
Yeah.
I think it's such a weird form of ego plus with other stuff involved in it too. And stress, dude. That's the other thing to me. I just don't give a fuck. I've always thought about that with comedy. Like I just do what I do and it's like hopefully people like it. And it's like I don't need to sit here and go like that person said this about me, and it's like,
Yeah.
okay.
Word.
Yeah,
Good for
no,
them
no.
though. It gives us a lot of entertainment. So bravo.
Yeah.
For sure.
All right. So what are we doing next week?
Next week, I'm sure our listeners, if any of you have checked it out, check it out. The new Dune movie. We are not covering the new Dune movie. In honor of that new movie coming out, we are doing the I don't remember the year it came out, but we are doing the David Lynch's Dune.
It's
movie.
like in the 80s, 84,
80s,
88 or something.
like that. And yeah, we're gonna be discussing and covering that and kind of getting into a conversation about that movie.
You know, and I'm very excited because, like, honestly, that new Dune movie was good. I fucking love David Lynch. I've heard these two ingredients that didn't necessarily mesh together.
Yeah, and we've
Whatever
never
you
seen
say.
it. We've never seen it. I think pretty much none of us have seen it. Eric's seen a tiny little bit.
I started seeing it, and
Regretted
I'm
it?
going to hold by my opinion.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes next week. But yeah, it's next week is David Lynch's Dune. You can watch that beforehand, and then you'll get more out of the episode. So do that.
Hey everybody, thanks so much. We mentioned this last week, but for real, more and more people keep listening, believe it or not. So we really appreciate that. It means a lot to us, and it's showing. It's showing on our numbers and stuff. And so thank you so much. If you could like and share, that's the biggest way. Liking is good. Actually, sharing is the best way. But liking or leaving us a review on iTunes, all those
Tell
things
your
really
friends
help.
about it. Download it. Yeah, like tell them it's on iTunes. Tell them it's on these platforms, because I mean, and honestly, you guys have been doing that. So thank you very much for like spreading the word about our podcast, because it has been, like Eric said, really growing on a pretty great basis, or more regular basis. And with this trip we're going on, it's even going to get better. So it's just, share.
Yeah, and really
like,
the best thing you can do for us is to leave a 5-star review and comment on iTunes, and then screenshot that shit and send it to us and get you some free stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Free
for
free
sure.
from me or one of Tyler's drawings.
yeah. So you can
Absolutely. Okay.
So thanks for. You should outro it.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, guys.
That was this week. Bye.
Yay!